Thor said that they hated each other, but one of the producers walked away from the project and refused to finance the film as Blake Lively was the lead.
It was my first movie ever, and your faith in me.
Her secret plan is to always take control of the movies and lie to the directors to get it. This woman is a monster.
It was supposed to be the movie that defined a generation, but instead, it became the battleground for a Hollywood war no one saw coming. Blake Lively was ready for her comeback. Justin Baldoni wanted a critical masterpiece.
And that's largely due to the fact that she is a modern feminist, and so she has to create struggle where there just isn't any. I've not seen a case so open and shut in my life, and the more that I read and the more details that I get into, I'm just shocked at how many lies were told, okay?
And then came the script rewrites, the NDA leaks, the defamation lawsuits, and a very public meltdown that ended in a $400 million countersuit.
On Blake Lively's claims that she was allegedly harassed by this guy when they shot the movie, It Ends With Us, a film about domestic violence. And was Justin didn't harass Blake. Blake was interested in wresting control of this movie away from Justin, who was the director and the producer. She was just an actress in it. There's just so much more to the story, and the media's already like...
Today, we unpack the legal chaos behind It Ends With Us, the alleged betrayal of Blake Lively, the media manipulation by Baldoni's team, and how Taylor Swift, yes, Taylor Swift, got dragged into the fire. This is the Hollywood expose they never wanted you to see.
Self-flagellating, oh, we were too mean to Blake. And now you see text messages from Blake Lively comparing herself. She's the mother of dragons in Game of Thrones, that she too has her dragons, Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift.
It all started with the rights to Colleen, Hoover's best-selling novel, It Ends With Us. The film had major buzz. Blake Lively was cast as Lily Bloom. Justin Baldoni, riding high off his success from 5 Feet Apart, was directing and producing under his Wayfarer Studios banner.
But they believed her narrative instantly because the allegations were so strong. And I just kind of held fire because I don't trust the New York Times to save my life.
There are text messages that refute every single thing in that in that complaint.
And that really they're bored and rich. Another circumstance that made me see right through Ryan Reynolds and the kind of person that he is when, despite being friends with Joe Alwyn, who dated Taylor Swift for 5 years. She's best friends with Blake Lively.
But behind the scenes, things were already unraveling. Court documents later revealed that Lively had flagged serious concerns about the tone and direction of the film. Specifically, she believed that Baldoni was stripping away the survivor-centric narrative and turning it into a romantic tragedy, a dangerous distortion of the source material's message on domestic abuse.
All right, you guys, it is Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni Day. Finally, to all of the women out there that are watching, no matter what you do in life, you never, ever, ever go full Amber Heard.
The New York Times apparently reviewed 1,000 or more pages of text messages. They would have seen it. Justin never wanted to hurt her, never wanted to be negative to her. And it's all over the place.
It's about that narrative that I think they instantly started spinning. I believe that they are going to be able to prove in court that this was personal. Ryan Reynolds versus Justin Baldoni, all of the...
And to the point where this guy was in the basement at his own movie's premiere. And that what in fact happened was you guys were the ones out there generating negative press against Justin. You guys were the ones who were trying to ruin Justin.
She asked for script changes. Instead, her requests were ignored. By late 2023, sources close to Lively claimed she was excluded from key creative meetings and denied access to raw footage.
Used her PR people to try and destroy Justin. And we're carefully considering other people that will be sued.
Despite her executive producer title, one anonymous crew member alleged that Justin treated Blake like a pretty face, not a partner. Things reached a boiling point when a partial script draft leaked online, showing major deviations from Hoover's novel. In the leak, Lily Bloom was painted as emotionally...
Justin Baldoni's lawsuit, he accuses Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively of colluding with the New York Times. Do you guys remember what the article was actually entitled that they actually released on 12/21? We can bury anyone inside a Hollywood smear machine.
Manipulative and ungrateful. While Ryle, the abusive husband, was humanized into a misunderstood tragic hero. Fans were furious. TikTok exploded. Not My Lily trended for 70...
You have a baby at home, and you have a baby on the way. Congratulations.
What makes you say that?
The shark told me.
Food is probably the most central part of my life, food and family, but those are completely...
It was my first movie ever, and your faith in me.
2 hours. But what came next was even more shocking. Entertainment blogger without a crystal ball released an anonymous tip that Blake Lively had walked off set in tears and that she had allegedly endured verbal harassment. From Baldoni himself, during a closed-door meeting in January 2024, suddenly, public sympathy shifted. Blake wasn't just an actress unhappy with the direction, she was a potential victim. And Baldoni? He was being painted as a
Welcome back! We're hanging out with Gal Gadot now! Go!
gaslighting tyrant hiding behind progressive branding. Within days of the leak, PR insiders noticed a pattern. Negative. Stories about Blake Lively began surfacing in Variety, The Hollywood Reporter, and Deadline. Blake Lively overstepped her role, sources say. Justin Baldoni battled sabotage on set. Lively's diva demands delayed production. But these weren't neutral headlines.
Put it more like this, exactly.
That's quite nice, though.
Several of the articles quoted the same anonymous source, a person believed to be a consultant with ties to Wayfarer Studios. Blake's camp hit back. Her legal team accused Baldoni and his producers of launching a coordinated defamation campaign in violation of multiple NDAs. Then came the nuclear move. In February 2025, Blake Lively filed a $400 million lawsuit against Justin Baldoni and Wayfarer Studios. The suit alleged sexual harassment in the workplace, creative sabotage and gaslighting, intentional infliction.
I never really wanted to talk about politics. I kind of tried really hard to avoid
Of emotional distress, violation of producer rights and intellectual contributions, and most damning of all, a deliberate smear. Campaign to ruin her career. The complaint detailed incidents dating back to pre-production, including one alleged moment where Baldoni told Lively, "You're not here to direct. Just smile and sell the tickets."
But they believed her narrative instantly because the allegations were so strong. And I just kind of held fire because I don't trust the New York Times to save my life.
There are text messages that refute every single thing in that in that complaint.
And that really they're bored and rich. Another circumstance that made me see right through Ryan Reynolds and the kind of person that he is when, despite being friends with Joe Alwyn, who dated Taylor Swift for 5 years, she's best friends with Blake Lively.
Publicly, Baldoni denied all wrongdoing, but internally, his team was panicking. Depositions from key crew members began leaking. One cinematographer claimed Baldoni had thrown a chair across the set during an argument with Lively. Another alleged he re-edited scenes to minimize her emotional range. Wayfarer Studios' board reportedly began reconsidering their stake in the film. Then came the surprise twist no one expected. Blake's longtime friend, Taylor Swift, posted a cryptic Instagram story with the lyrics, "You can't spell betrayal," without try. Set against a background photo of Lily Bloom's flower shop, fans connected the dots immediately. Taylor was backing Blake, and she wasn't being subtle. Behind the scenes, sources claimed Taylor had offered to help fund Blake's legal team and was even considering pulling her music rights from the film if Baldoni's version went forward. Why? Because Taylor, a survivor advocate herself, was reportedly disgusted by how the film framed abuse. Industry insiders called it a death sentence for the film's marketing. One executive was overheard saying, "If Taylor pulls support, the Gen Z crowd walks, it's over." In March 2025, Baldoni responded with a $150 million countersuit, accusing Lively of breach of NDA and willfully undermining the studio's brand. He called her claims a weaponized fiction meant to distort the truth, but the damage was done. The New York Times published a bombshell exposé citing emails, texts, and recorded voice notes between Baldoni and producers, where they openly discussed minimizing Blake's influence and reworking Lily's arc to suit a more male-friendly demographic. The exposé even quoted one executive saying, "If she walks, we cast someone hotter." This isn't her Oscar moment. Social media went nuclear. Sponsors pulled out. By April, the film's theatrical release was shelved indefinitely. Netflix dropped distribution talks. Podcasters, influencers, and YouTubers had a field day. The cut ran a headline, "Blake Lively burned Hollywood to the ground, and we're watching the flames." Rolling Stone called it the most explosive actor-director fallout since Jolie and Pitt. Megyn Kelly did a Why Hollywood Hates Women Who Say No. Even former cast members from Gossip Girl weighed in. Leighton Meester posted, "Proud of Blake for standing her ground. About time the system cracked." Meanwhile, Justin Baldoni went dark. No posts, no interviews.